Producing an amazing presentation is a difficult task. There are many factors that affect the overall outcome of the production. Most surprising is that the subject is not the most important of these factors. It is in fact primarily the presenter along with the other elements which ensure the success of a presentation. During the 2014 TEDMed conference, Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris was one successful presenter who provided an amazing educational and inspiring presentation about childhood trauma and health. The introduction of a presentation is very important because it is the first thing that the audience hears. Dr. Burke started her presentation and got to the point immediately with a stunning statement. In mentioning the discovery of an exposure, which highly increases the risk of 7 out of 10 of the leading causes of death in America, she immediately had the attention of the audience. Beginning with a stunning statement is such an amazing way to begin a presentation, and Dr. Burke only took hers to the next level. Right from the beginning, she gives amazing explanations and observations, and really draws the audience in and shows them that they will learn something from this presentation. Humans rely mainly on their sense of sight. During a presentation, people pay a lot of attention to the visual aspect. Dr. Burke was not presenting a subject which needed many visuals, and she wisely did not try to incorporate them where they would not fit. It is essential to plan any visual aspect of a presentation very well, because confusing charts or diagrams can easily lose the focus of the audience, which is the last thing you want to do. Adding in these confusing charts or odd images might require extra explanation, which does not go with the flow of the presentation and distracts from the main message. Dr. Burke chose to leave out these unnecessary elements. However, she did still have 2 visual elements in her presentation. To command respect from your audience, you must look professional, and Dr. Burke looked the part as she dressed impeccably and appropriately for the conference. The second visual aspect which I observed in Dr. Burke's presentation were her gestures. Although the concept of gestures seems simple enough, presenters must be careful not to over-gesticulate and distract the audience from their presentation, or under-gesticulate in an abstract or random manner, which could again distract the audience from their general theme or message. Dr. Burke had very consistent and appropriate gestures, which helped her presentation and give the audience something to focus on if they can't just rely on her words. The presenter is truly the most important of all the elements in a presentation. Dr. Burke succeeded extraordinarily with her presentation because she had the proper tone of voice and language. I personally feel that in the medical field especially, it is so important for a presenter to be able to speak in the common tongue. Dr. Burke was able to provide the scientific terms for all of her medical colleagues, but also explain them and give simpler, more common language for all of us in the audience who do not have a PhD in medicine. This is so important because had she neglected to translate for those of us in the crowd who are ignorant, she would have lost half her audience, including myself. On top of her appropriate vocabulary, Dr. Burke used an amazing tone of voice. I believe that this is the most important factor for an oral presentation, and in this, Dr. Burke succeeded very well. Throughout the entire presentation, she kept my attention with her tone of voice. Had her tone been monotonous and flat, she would have lost my attention within 5 minutes. But because her voice is so passionate, she shows us her passion for medicine and helping others, which is truly what doctors are supposed to do.